بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي آمين يا رب العالمين. Inheritance. So much family feuds. Our flipping whole existence has been hearing this kind of nonsense. Why does Islam, I mean, I just said inheritance, I didn't even say what, right? So A, it's got to be, as I said, the guidance of the Quran is that it's got to be adhered by the whole community. For it to actually make impact, it's got to be adhered to by the whole community. So then the guidance is that the male gets one, like two halves, and the female gets one half. So if it's like four, and then so three brothers, and then so the three brothers will get one, two, a third, and then the sister will get like half of one brother. So if it's like £400,000 example, and there's 5 siblings, so each will get 100, 100, 100, and the sisters will get 50,000, 50,000. So 400,000 or 500,000. My maths is shoddy. Yeah. So you get it. So the boys will get 100,000, 100,000, 100,000, and the girls will get 50,000 and 50,000. So that's one. Yeah. And then the mother gets an eighth, which would be, do the maths. Yeah. Why? Because the man has a responsibility of the wife, of the children, and should that sister be in a problem, she needs to go back to the father or the brother. They've got a responsibility to look after her then. Okay, so that's why they've got double the share, because the boys, the men, the honourable, righteous, God-fearing, so this whole situation is based on the fact that they're all going to be very honourable and noble and do exactly what is required of them. So they have the responsibility to look after their families, and also, so if it's the father that's passed it, and then they've got the responsibility of the mother as well. So they've got to look after the mother, they've got to look after the wife, they've got to look after the children. They might have 2 wives, they might have 3 wives. So basically, they've got to do that, and then the woman, that money is hers. She doesn't need to spend it on anything. She doesn't need to spend it on the family. She just can do all she wants with it. That's her money. That's her right. She can invest it in something. She can put it on jewellery. She can smoke weed with it. For all, astaghfirullah, I mean, it's a joke, but it's essentially that's how basic it is, right? She can do whatever she wants with that money. Burn it away. So is what it's meant to say, right? But please, sisters, if you think that's haram, yes, haram. Astaghfirullah, I can't really record this again, right? But yeah, it's haram, yeah. So astaghfirullah, please, yeah. But yeah, so it is basically the woman can do whatever she wants with her money, and she doesn't have to give it towards any household costs. She doesn't have to put it towards anything. She can go and buy a flashy car if that's how much money she's got to do with it, and she can invest it in anything. She can buy gold and sit on it. She can do, kind of open a business. She can put it on clothes. She can leave it. She can do whatever she wants. But the brothers, the boys, they have a responsibility that they have to look after. With that money is they can do whatever they want with it, but they'll have a family, and they are responsible for looking after to the men, the women, and the mother if the mother is alive. Which is why they've got that. And then also then it comes Eid and etc, so they want to give to the sister at that point as well, and the sister's family, and then again, if there's a problem with the sister's marriage, she can actually come, and then the brothers would have that responsibility to look after her, because they are responsible for her. They're her mahram, and they're also responsible for her after the father. And that's the reason why that share there's a difference in the share. And that's really as simple as it is. By not adhering to it, you are liable to the wrath of Allah, and may Allah forgive, and may Allah SWT guide, and that's basically it, really. This is the inheritance that it has to be given. And yeah, and there was a recent question actually about gifts. So somebody can say that, well, I'm not going to give the children the way that it is prescribed, but I'm going to give according to my own desires, because I want to give this son this much and I want to give that son that much. You can't do that. Prophet ﷺ in his time was there's a man who came and said, oh Rasulullah, I want to give such and such a gift to my child, and then Prophet ﷺ said, do you have other children? They said, yeah, I do. And he said, have you given the same to the other children? They said, no. He said that I will not become a share of this, I will not become a witness to this, because this is not right. This is an authentic hadith, so we shouldn't. And the guidance actually for inheritance is that we have to give the share to the children. And remember, this wealth and anything that Allah has given is not actually just ours. It's actually a means to look after the children, you know, and it's a means to look after and fulfill the responsibilities that Allah has placed on us. So it's not even ours to really kind of be saying, I'm going to give it to this person, I'm going to give it to, no. That wealth and that is equal to be given to the children, because that is why Allah has given it to you, because it's and their share is in that. Regardless if you think that one child, this is what I read, and I have to figure out where I read it, you know, like, because the knowledge is, you know, definitely there, alhamdulillah, but I don't know which book it was that I read it in, that even if your son is a drunk, even if the son is a drunk, right? So I mean, that, because you know, for us, that is the kind of ultimate thing, that he'll waste all the money and we're not going to give it to him, and he will just kind of squander it all, and there's no chance, and I'd rather give it to the other one that's much more sensible, and not have him all just drink it all away, right? Even if your son is a drunk, his share is his share, and we have no right to remove it. That is between AllahSubhanaWaTa'ala, and that is between that. And it could be that the person that's being so sweet and so sugary and so this and so nice and etc. to you is doing it completely so they can get hold of your wealth. And that is basically what I read was. Allahu Alam where I read it. I need to figure out where I read it, because it was years and years ago, right? That you don't know that the person's intentions, who is being very sweet and very, you know, honourable and very this and that, they could be actually doing all this because they can see that you've got that assets, and that they want the hands on the assets, and they will tell you that that sibling of ours is an absolute, right, and that one's an absolute this, and you know what, I'm the hard working, and I'm the one that's earning, and I'm the one that's doing this, and I'm the one that's your right arm, and I'm your left arm, and but that sibling is pushing the other ones away, so they don't have a choice to come close, to get close to you. They leave it in the hands of Allah, so they say, okay, fine, this is what it is, and that sibling getting more and more closer, and the parent is thinking, well, the other ones are not bothered, and so, you know what, another one's then depressed, saying, oh my god, my brother's like kind of moving like this, so turning to booze. You've got that one turning to booze, and that one's kind of playing all the sweetest games on the earth. But your duty then is still, you have it equality the way that Allah SWT has given it, because you don't know the hearts, you don't know what's going on in the hearts. And that is basically what inheritance that I can cover. And obviously there's lots and lots and lots and lots of areas, and lots of subjects, and lots of this, right? But the crux of it is this, the fact that this is the way it is, and this is why the guidance is, and that we can't have preference. We can't, and I'll put my hands up. We've experienced it in our family. We've experienced that where all scenarios have been played out, and I tell you that it is, leave it to Allah. Allah's guidance is beautiful. Allah's wisdom is beautiful. Allah's code of conduct is beautiful. I tell you, it's beautiful. I have experienced that. We have experienced that. We've let go for the sake of Allah, and we've just left it to Allah. But that is the situation, that, you know, people will play games, and no matter how sincere, no matter what, it'll be a case of like, let's try to get these assets, and let's try to make X, Y, and Z, or just try create differences, create distance, not even differences, create a distance that can't be crossed. So this wisdom of Allah SWT, you know, is there, and I'm trying not to get personal about stuff, right? I'm trying not to bring my personal, because it's not fair, because it's like, well, that's, but I think until and unless you've actually seen it so up close, you won't get passionate about it. You won't understand why this message needs to be out there. For me, the biggest drive is that I see how Islam you know, in every single aspect is the most perfect guidance. The most perfect guidance. You raise a topic, you know, because if you are very aware, politically aware, you're very socially aware, and then you have these various things, you know, in your life. You've got various so you can relate to Surah Yusuf, and you can relate to this. So I'm just trying to give you some sort of hints here, you know. You can relate to this surah, you can relate to that surah, you can you know, then it helps you to understand. And then you want to make sure the fact that you kind of share it with others, you know, that because otherwise the other aspect is, if you don't understand and you don't take it to AllahSubhanaWaTa'ala and His Deen, is depression. It is a whole host of depression and anxiety and a deep pit where you're falling and falling and falling, and there's no sanctity, there's no safety, there's no you know, like when it's a deep well and you've got those bricks, just protruding bricks, and you hold on and you can just gradually, there's none of that. There's none of that. Which is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, just hold on to the rope of Allah. You just hold on with one hand, and that's it. That's all you need, really. You just hold on, and you just hold on, and then he will pull you out. Because you can't even climb. It's like sometimes you can't even climb out of it. You don't even have the energy. You just hold on to it, and then He's just got to, you know, pull you out of it. It's nothing to do with your energy. It's nothing to do with that fact that in that well there's those little protruding bricks that you can actually climb out of and then get yourself out of it. It's nothing to do with what we can do. There are times in our life that we're going to face that there's not even a minuscule amount, 0.0, you know, a percentage of energy that we have. We are totally and utterly crushed and broken by what we've been enduring. And it's Allah, and so long as we're holding on to His rope, He will swift us out with no energy from us, but other than taqwa, other than God consciousness. And that has to go through to all aspects of our life. And mashallah, this question kind of really covers a lot of that. Is like every single different, you know, aspect of it, inshallah ta'ala. So inshallah ta'ala, I hope that this helps, inshallah. I think there's still a couple of questions actually. Yeah, I think I made note of these ones, but I'll make a note of the other ones, and inshallah ta'ala, I'll go with them, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.